Thunderbolts is not a good movie, it catches you off guard, and it's not the MCU that we have seen lately. Thunderbolts is the 36th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and officially part of Phase 5. Since we've seen so many films in this universe, what's another story, right? What it delivers is something much more grounded and emotionally charged than most MCU films. We're somewhere between the fallout of Phase 4 and the uncertainty of what's next. But this movie doesn't care about like the cosmic or multiverse, it strips things back. It feels more like a Phase 2 film than character focused and really emotionally messy, which is actually why it's a great movie. Let's talk about it. The Sokovia Accords have been repealed and the Avengers are gone, and everything post-Endgame has kind of felt aimless, I'm sure you can agree. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, isn't here building a new Avengers team. Her whole thing is that she's in an impeachment hearing at the beginning, trying to cover her tracks. And all of the people are caught in her web. Yelena, Bucky, Red Guardian, US Agent, and Ghost. They aren't signing up for anything. They're dealing with the fallout of her actions. And that collision sets everything in motion. So these aren't clean-cut heroes. They're completely fractured in a million different ways, and the past is what weighs them down. They're not going to trust each other, and the film is going to gradually build the connection between them. Not through like a big speech or grand gesture, but through moments of survival that chip away at their isolation. The shift from fractured individuals to reluctant allies is what really makes the story land. And honestly, Florence Pugh is the heart and soul of this film. She's been a standout since Black Widow, but here, like, she is top tier MCU. There is a specific scene later with her and Red Guardian that's like completely raw and immediately pushed her into an upper echelon of characters for me. Sebastian Stan plays a conflicted Bucky Barnes, a congressman trying to do good within a system he's not really fully bought into. You feel the tension in all the decisions that he makes. David Harbour clearly loves playing Red Guardian. He's goofy, heartfelt, and surprisingly sharp. I would personally watch an entire show of him running his limo service and dishing out horrible dad advice. Wyatt Russell brings something new to US Agent. He's less brooding and more broken. His performance has a weight that makes his character click a lot better than he did in the show. Hannah John Kamen gets more screen time as Ghost, and it does work. She's sharper, funnier, more present, and watching her open up feels earned. Louis Pullman is Bob, and he's also Sentry, which I don't think is a spoiler because it's in the credits. His acting and the story is kind of a slow burn revelation. It's really cool. I mean, every glance, twitch, and breath says something deeper in his acting. And he's got a presence that changes the tone of every scene he's in. It's kind of haunting at times, but it's one of the most complicated performances that I've seen in a Marvel movie. And so for many of these characters, they were all scattered across Disney Plus shows and various MCU films. This is the first time they're interacting with each other, and it's fascinating. They clash and test boundaries, and eventually they start to shift. It's not really clean at all, but it is very genuine. So for me, and maybe you, I am so grateful that this isn't a cosmic Marvel movie, leaning more into the political and psychological themes than the usual cosmic scale. Grief and identity and mental illness are woven into the core of the story, not treated like throwaway subplots. Now, I know like this is probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but I've never really clicked with the Guardians of the Galaxy tone. I get the appeal, it's fun, trust me. But I've always been frustrated by how quickly emotional moments get undercut by humor. Just as you start to feel something, someone cracks a joke. That's my biggest gripe with Marvel movies. Thunderbolts really doesn't do that. There are moments where I expected it, and the scene just stayed serious. The restraint allowed the emotions to actually resonate, which made the story hit harder. Now, there is humor in it and everything, but those moments stick and are really stand out in the film. And thankfully, Jake Schreier keeps the direction really grounded. The action is raw, the cinematography is tight and practical, and the vault scene in the beginning in particular are shot with a really gritty texture that makes everything feel tactile and personal. The cosmic elements of all the combat that we've been seeing are really just not there. There's some CGI that you're gonna obviously notice, but there's a lot of boots on the ground kind of combat that is really, really fun. It reminded me a lot of The Winter Soldier, not necessarily in the plot, but the tone. It lets the scenes breathe, leans into the discomfort and trusts the audience to stay with it. This is a movie about trauma, not necessarily as a plot device, but as a lived reality. Every character is dealing with something. What really surprised me the most about Thunderbolts wasn't the big action beats. It was the little emotional landmines that are scattered throughout. There's a moment involving Red Guardian that caught the entire theater off guard. There's no spoilers, but there was an audible gasp from me as well, and you're not going to forget that. So I know I've been saying a lot of really good things about the film. You should watch it. It's fantastic, truly, but it's not perfect. There is a death in this film that really, it just felt like a plot device that was needed for an emotional hit. It doesn't really hit. It feels very unnecessary. It is unpredictable, and it kind of gives a tone of the unpredictable nature of this film to a degree, but man, it's like when you see it, you'll know what I mean. And it was very disappointing because you want to see more, and now it's all gone. Obviously, you know to stick around for the post-credit scene. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but seeing it for the first time in a packed theater was unforgettable. The entire room completely erupted. It is one of those rare moments where the energy of the crowd becomes part of the experience. So obviously stick around. It is crazy. Truly what makes this film land isn't the plot, it is the characters, it is the people. If I could be real for a second, we all know that the MCU has felt messy for a while. This film doesn't fix everything, but it does feel like a step back towards something real. If you're into Winter Soldier, Black Widow, or just want a story that puts the people before the portals, this is for you. If you want multiverse mayhem, don't watch it. You're not going to like it. That's my take. Now I want to hear yours. Is Thunderbolts something you've been excited about? Who are the characters you like? Leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.